Hello, my friends. This is Suzanne Culberg. Welcome to episode 148 of the Note Coach podcast, Cleaning Before the Cleaner Arrives. I'm sure you've heard the saying, don't clean before the cleaner arrives. And we can relate to that, or we can understand that in the context of, your house. What I want to chat about in this episode is where we do it elsewhere in our lives. Another example would be, I need to get fit before I join the gym, or I need to improve my eating before I get some assistance with eating. I need to, so many areas. It's like, I can't do this. Like, I'm thinking even something like learning an instrument. Before I can hire someone to teach me the piano, I'm going to buy a keyboard, practice at home with some YouTube tutorials. Or before I get help writing my book, I'm going to write the first draft on my own. Why do we do this? Clean before the cleaner arrives. So my program, Why Wait, the next cohort, if you're listening to this at the time of recording, it's currently September 25th. And so October 2, a week from now, we are starting the next cohort. And it's always interesting at this time when I'm chatting to some people about, whether or not they feel ready to join or whether this is going to be the time. A lot of them have this thing, I need to do all these things first. And it's like, no, you don't clean before the cleaner arrives. You don't do all the mindset work before you work with the mindset coach. And for anyone listening, so how my program runs, in the beginning week of Why Wait, there isn't any content as in learning modules. There's a welcome video, like here's the program, here how it's going to go. But we actually begin by creating space. We spend the first week setting up. And that is a deliberate choice, because when it comes to making change, so many of us are used to doing the 180 or the overnight overhaul. It's like, I need to rush around and do all the things and make the most of this. And we know how that results. Most people fall off the wagon spectacularly after 2 weeks and are nowhere to be found. So instead of cleaning before the cleaner arrives, instead of psyching yourself up for Why Wait because you're going to do all the things and turn up to every single call and do all the journaling and all the homework and all that, I feel exhausted just saying that. We actually begin by making space. And for some people, this is so frustrating because they're just like, I'm ready. Let's go. I want to do all the things. And it's unshackling and unlearning and untying ourselves from that way, because that way doesn't work. I'm not interested in going hard for 10 weeks and then falling off spectacularly and undoing all of your hard work. I'm interested in lifelong change, in transformation, not simply a breakthrough. So in whatever it is that you're wanting to do, how would it feel to slow down? Even just hearing that might grate some of you. And it's like, no, I'm just so tired and sick of myself. I can't stand myself. Like, massive overhaul. But massive overhauls aren't the answer. Like, really be honest with yourself. How many times have you done this before? You've got to a point where you can't stand yourself anymore. You've sworn black and blue, this time's going to be different. And after a couple of weeks, you're back in the same place again. What would it truly take to be like, I'm in this for the long haul? It may be really slow in the beginning. It may feel glacial. I may feel like the tortoise and the hare, and other people are the hare running ahead, but they get exhausted and they run out of juice and they end up in the same place this time next year, this time the year after. It's like the same movie with different characters. So with the change that you're trying to make, instead of waiting, it's the reason my program is called Why Wait, and psyching yourself up, or making all these mini changes, going through YouTube tutorials, being too embarrassed to join the gym because you're unfit. Like, the reason you join the gym or hire a personal trainer or hire a mindset coach is to work through these things. This is what we do. I remember when I was very early in business, I didn't know a whole lot about bookkeeping. And for my personal thing was I waited too long to hire a bookkeeper. And taking her all my receipts and basically mess I felt so embarrassed. And she was like, this is what I live for. This is what I do, and set it all up into zero and made me all sorts of different columns and categories. And, voila. She's like, this is my jam. So if you're thinking about, joining Y-Weight and working on your mindset and boundaries and putting yourself forward first and taking action towards your goals, you don't need to be halfway there. This is my jam. And in the very first week, we'll be looking at where you can make space. Because that's the other thing we often do when we're trying to make a change. We try and cram more into an already overfilled life. It's like by decluttering, not just physical stuff, like, cleaning your house or cleaning your actual space, decluttering your mind of all the overthinking and over planning and over caretaking and over responsibility, so that you can put yourself first without feeling selfish. So yeah, I invite you to think about, where in your life do you clean before the cleaner arrives? Do you do a Suze and try and sort out your books before you hire the bookkeeper? Do you try and get fit before you join the gym? Do you try and teach yourself some DIY instrument or art before going to a class? And where can you trust that the person that you're investing in, they don't mind where you are? Like, I was just trying to think of, even like a dentist. It's like, I can't go to the dentist because I don't take a lot of care of my teeth. That's the reason that you need to go. They're not going to judge. They're going to give you a much better clean and scale and plan moving forward than if you try and DIY it at home before you get, checked out. So that's my thoughts for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.